Hello, everybody. This is Jay. I happen to be a reviewer and a nerd, and I'm going to talk to you today about a movie that came out. I believe is out now. It might have come out today or yesterday. Is Alita: Battle Angel. Now, going in, I've never read the comics. I've never read the graphic novels. I didn't really know much about it going in. It does have Christoph Waltz in it, which I think is a great actor. And this movie, in a nutshell, it's got really good characters. It's got really good special effects. Some really not a pretty good, pretty strong plot for most of the way throughout, and takes place hundreds of years in the future. The Earth itself has seen better days. I want to say overpopulation is a problem. A lot of people have cybernetic parts like arm, legs, things like that. I mean, Christoph Waltz's character is a doctor who, kind of like puts cybernetic parts on people, right? And one day, as he's going through, like scrap people, like a little junk pile, he finds like this like piece of an old android that somehow still has its brain intact. So he decides, you know what, I'm gonna revive it. We'll see what happens. And the android he calls Alita. It doesn't remember anything about its past as the movie goes along. Alita starts to remember, who she is and what she was and where she came from. There's a lot of action in this film. There's some pretty good fight scenes. There's a good villain or two here. But I had a few minor issues with this film. Nothing really, really big, mind you, but minor. There was something called the fall that happens where we hear about it a number of times in this movie, but there's not I kinda wanted to know more about it, I kind of was I wanted to know, like, "Okay, what is this fall? How did it happen? Why did it happen?" I mean, we get a little bit of that here and there, but not a huge chunk of it, not really, And, the ending, sadly, kinda loses steam that most of the movie was able to hold. By like the last 30 minutes or so, I was kind of like, man, this movie's kind of dragging on at this point. When's this going to be over? I'm kind of ready this film to be done. It's not necessarily a bad ending, but it's not a really strong ending either, which was kind of disappointing for a film that, at least for the first hour and a half, I overall did enjoy. I really did. Like some of the characters had secrets they were hiding, from other people, and seeing Alita just grow and realize who she was and maybe who she's meant to be, it was really kind of cool. Getting to learn her backstory slowly through the course of the film, I think they did a very good job with this. I believe Marshala Ali is a bad guy of sorts in this movie, but like so it's strange. It's like so there's this like city like up above like the rest of this like a floating city, and it's like supposedly one of the only ones left, and everybody wants to go there. It's supposed to be really nice, but like most people live on on the bottom on the earth. That's just where they live. And there's all these promises. The movie goes along. Hey, you do this, you end up there. You do that, you end up there. You go here, you end up there. Is and I guess like the person who runs that place is able to talk through Marshala Ali, I believe, which is kind of interesting. A little odd at the same time, but kind of interesting. And there is a romance with Alita and someone, a guy. There is that there, which has its good moments. It has a few weak moments too. It's kind of a little balanced. It's kind of good at first. It gets a little monotonous at times, but overall it was good. And yeah, the movie has a number of good parts. It really does. I cannot say this is the best movie I've seen, but I can say, you know what? It was a good movie. Overall, it's a good movie. If I were to give this a score, I'd probably give it maybe an 8 out of 10. It deserves that. I mean, it's not a movie that like I personally don't think you have to read all the comics and graphic novels to understand what's going on. It might not hurt, but I didn't, and I understood what was going on well enough. But I do kind of really wish it had kind of ended on a stronger note. I really do wish that there's a cool reveal that I won't spoil of who the bad guy is, which was kind of nice. It was kind of cool to see that actors show up in this film at the last minute. But I would watch this movie again, but I wouldn't say I would watch it again and again. I wouldn't say that. But if you're in the mood for a pretty cool sci-fi, action flick, I think you'll enjoy this one. I do. I mean, and I think it'll do well enough. Like I said, it's a good movie. It's one of those movies from like, hey, it was good. I enjoyed it. Besides the last 30 minutes of the film, or maybe 20 minutes of the film, I enjoyed the film. I did. There were, like I said, a lot of really good action scenes. Alita, the character is a really good character. It's definitely a likable character. It's almost like there's sort of some Pinocchio aspects in said character, in just the sense, like like self-discovery is what is kind of like where there's a similarity there. Like she is trying to figure out, like I said, who she is, where she came from, what happened to her past, all of that. And yeah, this was all over. It was good. I mean, I think it'll do well enough. Yeah, but it's not one of the best films I've seen, but it's good. It just is. I don't know if I can say much more about it than that. I don't want to spoil it too much. But yeah, it's out in theaters now. Check it out. I'd love to hear, by the way, below in the comments, what did you think of this film if you've seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think was good about it? Was there anything you didn't like about it? Is there some stuff you disagree with me on my review? Because that's okay. I'm glad to hear other views on this movie. Of course, be sure to like this video and subscribe to me. I'm going to try to do more reviews on here as things go along. I think that's something I want to start planning on doing. And if there's something you want to hear me review, I'm glad to do that. I have no problems with doing that. Of course, share this on your social media sites. Tell your friends about me. And other than that, like I said, Alita is out now in theaters. I saw it in IMAX, which is a really cool way to see it. I saw it in 3D. I wouldn't say you have to see it in 3D, but seeing it in IMAX is kind of cool because you get to see, so much more that you wouldn't see on a regular screen. So if you do get a chance to see it on IMAX, I would recommend that. But I wouldn't recommend 3D, but that's just my. So, other than that, have yourselves a great rest of the evening, and don't worry, I'll be back soon with more reviews.